Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you? Hope you enjoyed the time off we had, and had a great time the past few days here. So, what is this? It's Monday, December 27th, 2021, and my goodness, the year's about over. Absolutely about over. Good morning, Art. How are you, Joe? Good morning, Ed. How's everybody doing? So. Going into this week, I'm just not sure that the market is going to be full of life. Who wants to be there working this week, to tell you the truth? And I think that's likely to be the attitude of the market. But we can't predict that, so let's just buckle up. Hello, Mela. How are you? Let's buckle up and get with the program here. So last week was absolutely fabulous in the SPY, no doubt about it. Let's get this going. Sorry, I've been off for 4 days now. I just about forgot how to get things up and running on the computer. No, I'm serious. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I'm counting today because so far it looks like it's pretty good. This has been fantastic. What a great comeback in the market, in the SPY anyway. That tends to be my market. As you can see, though, there's still a bit of resistance up here that we need to break out of. So that's going to be the key thing right now for me. Now, we may pull back a little bit, and if we do, and as long as we stay above the T line, and I'm gonna do something like this. Let's just come over here and visit these candles a little bit, and then I'm gonna bring it just up through the T line like that, and maybe I won't do that because I don't like the way that looks. There we go. That's what I like. Because really what I want to be is just parallel with the T line, just slightly below it. So anything in this area, I'm going to be a little on the bullish side. We break down through that blue line right there, and then not so bullish. But going this week here, unless something drastic happens, I just don't see a lot going on. So walk softly. Think of the market as an iced over pond. And we really haven't had any cold weather yet, so that ice is not super thick. So it could be a little bit rough in here until we absolutely break out and prove that these highs up here, and I'm actually going to move this down to this candle, actually prove that, say, 472.80 can hold. And then we may be on our way to reach up into some of those 480 areas and then go from there. All righty. Again, good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. Let's take a look at some charts. Let's take Apple. So Apple's one I've got on my watch list. Now, I held Apple over the weekend, still long Apple, doing quite well in it. So everything's looking good here. We still have a little bit of a, if you're gonna draw lines on a chart let's just say if you're gonna draw lines on the chart, then it's clear that we need to break out of this downtrend line. Just taking the recent high and then the recent high from there, connecting those two lines, allowing the line just to go down. You can see we need to break out of that, but I don't. That sort of thing doesn't discourage me. If you look at the chart, just go back and look at the chart. In fact, you could do this with any chart you want to. Charts always break out. Whoops. Get rid of that. Sorry about that. Charts always break out of resistance and lines that we put on here, just showing the highs. They always do that. What I tend to look for is the fact that we're trending. I think that is, and we can do this with any chart, with the market. Just the fact that it's trending, that means it's working. And I truly, truly believe the trend is your friend. And if we trade within the trend, then I think our probabilities of success are much greater. So I'm going to stay with the trend. I'm also going to look at a faster trend. So let's just take a look at that right there. And it's still working. Now, I'm a little bit lazy. Well, I'm a lot lazy, to tell you the truth. And I tend to use moving averages. So the T-line has been a staple on my table for a whole lot of years. And it has, the T-line has never, ever, ever, ever failed me. What has failed is I try sometimes to make more of price and the chart or hype. If I would just pay attention to the T-line here, if I would just follow that, man, it would just be crazy. But, you know, we always try to outsmart the chart. But if we just stay with this right here, and I'm going to put, where's it at here? Right there. So now I'm going to put the T-line right there, just ever so, or this line right here, ever so slightly below the T-line, just like that. And that's mostly so I can see everything. And then I don't want to get, you know, stopped out by some little tail that comes down, wick to the lower side. But you can see right there, the trend is still working. Very nice. Friday, we popped up, and I guess it was Thursday maybe, I don't know, whatever day that was, the 23rd. We popped up and we pulled back, and here we are today, and we're showing strength. So here's our low, our high. Is this the higher low? And I'm going to go with that until it's not. So I'm looking for Apple to break out, move up a little higher. And really, I don't see any reason why we can't get up in the 190 area for Apple, and then we'll reevaluate from there on the way up. Sorry, that just took an awful long time, didn't it? Let's take a look at Microsoft. Microsoft is very similar. We can draw a line down like that, right there. I'm going to split the difference of these two. We can draw a line right there. I know a ton of people that are already in Microsoft. I am not, wish I was. You can see how that's working. So maybe what happens here is we break out and then we test. So we don't have to be in a hurry to get into charts like this. We can wait patiently to the proper setup. And I do believe the proper setup, if you're not in it already, would be up in this area like that. CVS is also one that I'm watching. We have a nice little consolidation here the past several candles. We have a little 3/8 trap last week. We're right at that edge of the 3/8 trap to break out right now. So maybe and I'm going to put a line right there. There we go. I'm going to use this candle back here. So if we can show that we're closing today over 101, we'll call it 40, 101.40, that may set CVS to run up into, that 104, 106, 107 area. So let's keep an eye on that. JNPR, Juniper, I think is also setting up quite nice. Let me get rid of all that. There we go. So Juniper here is, if we look at that, there's a nice little J-hook chart pattern. Let's talk about these J-hook chart patterns. I've heard a lot of people over the years look at this and say, well, that's a J-hook. Actually, that's not a J-hook. A J-hook is when it actually breaks out. A J-hook is the fact that it's done what we thought it would do. So I think one thing going into next year, it's important to understand chart patterns and look at them for what they truly are. A J-hook is the fact it was a J-hook. Now, we can look at this and say, hey, this is a possible J-hook setup, and I absolutely would agree with that. That line there is pretty crooked, isn't it? Sorry, it should be flat, so more like this maybe. So right in here. And I see a lot of new traders they get involved with a J hook, and they don't understand that it's just the setup. Setups are not guaranteed to work out. So what we want to look for is that breakout. Now, believe me, I love getting in early. I have no problem. There's a nice flat line. I really don't have a problem with resistance when I'm using the T line in there as well. Because what happens, whoops, I didn't want that. Let's do this one. What happens is we've really closed the risk up right there. So really the risk is very, very low here. And if it did fail, we could have that stop at the T line, below the T line, intraday, end of the day, whatever you as a trader might use here. And we may try to anticipate that breakout. Once it breaks out, we don't have to be too aggressive, because 9 out of 10 times what happens is it breaks out and then it consolidates. Could be just for a day, could be for 5 days. And this is also a terrific place to buy the chart when you're looking for that J hook setup to continue, because that's all it is a continuation pattern. I want to break this down even to something a little simpler, and that is if you just take a simple trend, and let's make this one blue now. If you take a very simple trend, a strong trend, not, I say simple, something visual, very easy, but don't take it lightly. We want a strong trend. And then just simply look for the little dips. That's all you're doing, looking for the little dips. If you're swing trading, if you're looking to buy this for a longer term, buy it and hold it as long as it stays above that trend. A PENN, P-E-N-N, is the one I've got my eyes on. I kind of like to buy this week. If everything keeps looking this good, I kind of like this down here. I see this coming up and maybe revisiting about the 71 area, and that's in the neighborhood of 40% here. That's not a bad move. We've got a nice little low over here, a high. We came down lower. We popped up a little bit. We could have, if we, let me draw this right. Darn it. There we go. Right in there. We've got a little inverted head and shoulders, a real light little shoulder right in here. But a terrific bullish engulf, doji, follow through, and then we're setting up with a little pop out of the box sitting up right here, right above the Trendicator, and the Trendicator is now green. The last one I have here is PENN. There we go. Sorry, I'm sorry. MU. MU has broken out, so now what I'm looking for is a nice little consolidation right through here to buy MU. I'm not gonna. I had some people that I worked with this weekend a little bit, and we had some classes set up. There were some folks that were looking at MU down here as support. Well, that's all fine and dandy if you can afford 8% stop. Now, I can't afford an 8% stop, so there's just no way I can do that. What I want to do is trade something that is going to continue. Now, going seems so absolute, but what if this doesn't continue? Well, the last thing I want is a stop down here. So I'm going to put my stop right in this area right there, just about that breakout. And anything in this box, I'll look as a buy. Anything below that box, or this $90, 95 cents, what happens then, that becomes too risky, because look at all the places it could get to. And it starts breaking what it's doing here. Right now, what it's doing is moving up. If it starts moving below that 90, 95, then this whole short-term trend is now gone. So, anyway, that's what I'm looking at on MU. I absolutely want to thank everybody for being here. And again, walk softly, walk a little softly today. Oops, I say I have a question here. Hey, Jim, Are you using the T-line in today to get out? Jim, more times than not, I get out at the end of the day. So let's go back to, let's take Apple. Okay. So I think this is a low risk trade right in here. I think it's low risk because I might use, let's just say that, okay, I'm going to use the T-line as the stop. So what if today we ended up doing this down a little bit? And then let's give it a little tail in here just to give us a little hope, okay? There we go. A little hope. So I'm not going to stop this out intraday. I'm going to wait to the end of the day because what could happen here is, probably should have made that red. Keep it red. Then we'll make this black. What could happen is it could really step back up above the T-line. There are a few cases when I will use the T-line intraday, and that's if the market's looking like it's coming down, then why wait? It just doesn't make sense to wait for me. But generally, I do wait to the end of the day. Now, Jim, thanks for the question, but you've got to understand here, and everybody has to understand, there is no perfect way to do this. There isn't. I know that you could be trading 45 years from now, and you will be still looking for that perfect way to trade. Everybody does. But the truth of it, there's not. It's all about you and your ability to handle risk. So what is your risk? If you buy, let's put Apple up here. Let's break Apple out. Boom. So Apple, let's just say it's right here. So you buy it at 180.17. We get below the T-line down here at 173.86. Well, for you, 3.5% could be the world is coming to an end. I mean, that could be horrible for you. And say Fred there, Fred may have the trading attitude where, 3.5% is a walk in the park. So it's not that anything is absolute here. Nothing is absolute. It's all about how you trade, and that's so important. So here's something about the T-line. If you're going to be a T-line trader, which I got to tell you, I love that. If you're going to be a T-line trader, then it would make absolutely no sense, and I don't care how much hype is on the stock. If you buy it up here, you're going to get burned. So the goal is to buy close to the T-line. One of the best strategies here at Hit Run Candlesticks and Right Way Options is the 3/8 trap. The 3/8 trap is, I'll tell you, you want a clean, super simple strategy, trade the 3/8 trap. And don't trade anything else. Be the very best at it. And here's the 3/8 trap right here. Let me open this up. There we go. See right there? We're in the 3/8 trap. Trade like that, because what that does is that keeps your risk very minimal. That's one of the cool things about the 3/8 trap. And also with the scans I use in the scanner, you can also do this and keep the 3 within a certain percent of the T-line. So that, because there are charts where they pop up, MU might be one. MU. Yeah. See MU? See how we've pulled away from the T-line? Now, this is not a 3/8 trap, but if you were to buy it here, you couldn't hardly use the T-line as a stop, I don't believe. But see, that's me. So when you're scanning for stocks, look for those stocks in that 3/8 trap and look for the 3/8 trap, a maximum of whatever percent you want. That keeps it in your wheelhouse. So anyway, thank you. There, Chuck is saying that he literally, and I believe that. I've seen Chuck trade, and I can I can say that when I look at Chuck's trades or charts he mentions or he trades, then I can tell that he trades a lot of 3/8 trap. That it is one of the very best strategies. Super easy, just an absolute moneymaker when everything is working. Okay, everything's working. All right, I'll see everybody here in about 20 minutes, and let's get this market opened up. Have some fun today. Remember that this week is going to be a little light, so don't take everything so serious this week. Let's just enjoy it, okay? Take care. Think profits. Guys, be back in a minute.